Assalamualaikum and good day. Welcome back students. Now is for tutorial sessions. For tutorial chapter 7 linear momentum. This is the tutorial question and I will discuss for question with the odd number, which is number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7 and number 9. Question number 1. Question number 1 is the past year questions, April 2007. So, this question is, state the law of conservation of linear momentum. So, it's a straightforward. Conservation of linear momentum is in the absence of the external force. So, this question is normally 2 marks. Maybe for 2 marks. So, the key point is in the absence of the external force, the linear momentum system remain unchanged or constant. And then you can get full marks. You also can state the change of V is constant in the closed system, also correct. And then you have to mention about change of V is a total momentum. Total momentum initial equals to total momentum after. You also can write M1 U1 plus M2 U2 equals to M1 V1 plus M2 V2. But you have to define the all term. So M is a mass, and then V is a velocity after collision, and then U is an initial velocity. Okay, next is question number 3. Question number 3 is a past year question, October 2012. So, read the question first. Okay, object A of mass 500 gram. So we take object A with the mass is 500 gram, move with a velocity 5 meter per second. So U is 5 meter per second, and hit the object B. With a mass 300 gram. Mass 300 gram with at the rest. So what's mean at the rest or stationary? So when at the rest or stationary, U of speed equals to 0. And then after collision, so collide after collisions, both objects join and move together. So both objects join and move together, so it sticks together, object A and object B, and then move with a speed V, same speed for V for A and V for V. So V for A equals to V for B, let's say equals to V. Determine the velocity of the combined objects. So find the velocity. So from this question, we can take the information given and then try to relate the equation. So this is an elastic collision, which means only total momentum initial equals to total momentum final. Only the momentum is conserved, the kinetic energy is not conserved. So M1 V1 plus M1 U1 equals to plus M2 U2 equal to M1 plus M2 times V, because they have a same velocity. So V equals to M1 U1 plus M2 U2 divide M1 plus M2. So and then if we substitute V equals to 500 gram for object A times their speed is 5 plus M2 is 300 gram and then the speed is 0 divide My is 500 plus 300 and then you get the answer is 3.125 meter per second. Okay, let's move to the question number 5. Past year March 2012. Okay, a 0.1 kg object with a velocity of 0.2 meter per second in the x direction makes a head-on elastic collision with a 0.15 kg object initially at rest. So, what is the final velocity of 0.1 kg object after collision? Okay, after read the question, you have to understand the question and then take it out the informations. So, it has two objects. Let's say object 1 and then object 2. Object 1 which is mass for 0.1 kg and then for object 2 mass is a 0.15 kg. Okay, object 1 with a initial speed 0.2 meter per second and then object 2 with a initially at rest, so u equals to 0 meter per second and then after collision the object is a elastic collision, so it moves with a different speed, object 1 and object 2. So it has V1 and then it has for V2, so it's move V1 and different speeds. So we have two unknown, so what is a V1 and then what is a V2. In generally we need two equation or more to get this answer. So what we understanding is collisions, elastic collision, and then this is a elastic collision. Then it has both conservation of momentum, total momentum initial equals to total momentum final, and then it has a second is total kinetic energy. Total kinetic energy initial equals to total kinetic energy final. So let's we go for the momentum. So momentum M1 U1 plus M2 U2 equals to M1 V1 plus M2 V2, and then we substitute the informations. So 0.1 times 0.2 plus, this is because u is 0, so 0 equals to M1 is 0.1 V1 plus 0.15 V2. Then we expand and then we can get 0.02 equals to 0.1 V1 plus 0.15 V2. Okay, to get the best value, and then put the V1 to the one side. So 0.1 V1 equals to 0.15 V2 minus, sorry, (0.02) minus 0.15 V2. Okay, and then we divide all by 0 characteristics against 0.1 v1 equals to 0.02 minus 0.15 v2. Okay, to get the best value, we divide all term in 0.1. So then we can get v1 equals to 0.2 minus 1.5 v2, and then we get this equation. It's called equation number 1. Get it, students? Okay, go to the total kinetic energy. So total kinetic energy initial collision equal total kinetic energy final. So kinetic energy initial half m1 u1 square plus half m2 u2 square equals to half m1 v1, v for speed after, square plus half m2 v2 square. Okay, we can substitute, and then we lose all term has a half, and then we can cancel it out. So m1 is 0.1, so 0.1 times 0.2 square plus this is for 0, so 0 equals to m1 is 0.1 v1 square plus 0.15 v2 square. Then after expand, you can get 0.04 equals to 0.1 v1 square plus 0.15 v2 square. And then this is question number 2. Okay, question number 1 is v1 equals to 0.2 minus 1.5 v2. This is question number 2. Question number 1. And then we can substitute question number 1 to the question number 2. So we can get 0.04 equals to 0.1. Substitute this v1. v1 is 0.2 minus 1.5 v2 square plus 0.15 v2 square. And then expand again, you can get 0.04 equals to 0.04 minus 0.6 v2 plus 2.25 v2 square plus 0.15 v2 square. And then you put you can simplify. 0 is negative 0.6 v2 plus 3.75 v2 square, and then you put 0.6 v2 equals to 3.75 v2 square, and then we get the v equals to v2 equals to 0.16 meter per second. And then not finished yet. v2 is for object 0.15. Then we need the question asks about the velocity for m1 and m2. This is for V1 and this is for V2. So we get the velocity for V2 0.16 meter per second, and then V1 we don't know it yet. And then from equation number 1, is V1 equals to 0.2 minus 1.5 V2, and then we substitute the value of V2. So V1 equals to 0.2 minus 1.5 times 0.16. So V1 equals to 0.2. V1 equals to negative 0.04 meter per second. Done.